1943 The Battle of Midway, or 1943 Midway Keisen in Japan, is a vertical scrolling shooter arcade game released by Capcom in June 1987. Section 1. Gameplay. The game is set in the Pacific Theater of World War II, off the coast of the Midway Atoll. The goal is to attack the Japanese air fleet that bombed the player's American aircraft carrier, pursue all Japanese air and sea forces, fly through the 16 levels of play, make their way to the Japanese battleship Yamato and destroy her. 11 levels consist of an air-to-sea battle with a huge battleship or an aircraft carrier as an end-level boss, while 5 levels consist of an all-aerial battle against the squadron of Japanese bombers and a mother bomber that needs to be destroyed. As in 1942, players pilot a P-38. 2 buttons are used, one for regular attacks with several weapons, and one for special actions that executes either a loop, like in 1942, or one of 3 special attacks that damage the plane. Unlike 1942, the player only has 1 life with 1 refillable energy meter. Destroying a complete formation of red enemy planes will result in a power-up, such as a health boost or a temporary special weapon which replaces the default twin gun. Section 2 has no content. Section 3, 1943 Kai the Battle of Midway. This updated version was released exactly 1 year after the original game's debut. 1943 Kai is an enhanced wild version of 1943 that was made only available in Japan under the name 1943 Kai Midway Keisen. Most of the graphics and sounds have been reworked, the weapons have been made more extreme, and some fairly strange things, laser-firing World War II planes and ships that run on ground, have been added. The trademark P-38 has been replaced with a biplane Boeing Stearman E-75N68828. This version was ported by Naxat on the PC Engine as 1943 Kai. It was not available in the US TurboGrafx 16. The PC Engine port contains many additional levels and original music. The history of this game in PC Engine is same as the NES version, but your biplane is equipped during this action and is fight with new exclusive enemies and bosses. Though it was never released in the US in arcades, it was included in Capcom Classics Collection for PlayStation 2 and Xbox in 2005. Section 4. Ports. Capcom released their own port for the NES, but the game has also been ported to the Atari ST, the ZX Spectrum, the Amstrad CPC, the Commodore 64 and the Amiga. In 2005 it was re-released for Xbox and PlayStation 2 as part of Capcom Classics Collection, and again in Capcom Classics Collection Reloaded on the PlayStation Portable. The overall faithfulness and quality of execution of these third-party versions varies greatly. 1943 is the second game in the 1940s series, following the successful 1942. 1943 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The NES version varies from the arcade version somewhat, introducing the gradual improvement of the player's plane by permanently upgrading certain aspects of its abilities. These include the plane's offensive and defensive powers, the energy level, its special weapons and their durations. This somewhat alters the game balance, and a different tactic is required to survive the game. For example, initially very few weapons are made available. More can be attained from power-ups by putting statistic points into special weapons ability. Likewise, there are statistics for offensive ability, defensive ability, total energy, and special weapon time limit. The statistics modify the rates of change for the energy reserve, damage inflicted, and special weapon time limit.